Hi, welcome. Welcome to Inner Communion with Sovereign Temples. My name is Casey, and I am going to be your guide this evening, or maybe day, depending on if you're listening to the recording, or around the world, as we have people who join us from around the world, which is such a privilege to be seeding these prayers and creating miracles in our life. At Sovereign Temples, we believe in miracle working and that we are indeed children of the Most High. And that means we have these same immaculate divine qualities of our Holy Mother and Holy Father. And we aim to balance the divine masculine and the divine feminine within ourselves. That resting space, that inspired, insane action, and to come into balance to create our highest potential offerings. And I want to start this evening with reading something for you guys. But if you are new, you want to grab a glass of water, and having filtered water in glass is preferred. But we use water, and it is my prayer that you begin to bless your water, for indeed you can absolutely have holy water. You do not have to go to a church. You are the church. You are a sovereign temple. Everywhere your feet touch, you are in the house of God. But blessing your water will transform your life and begin to assist you in downloading divine light codes and upgrading your human DNA to be in more alignment with your light body genetics, which hold the immaculate qualities of divinity. And there's so much happening in the world right now if you look outside of yourself. And many of us are raging a war within. And it is our prayer that you begin to lay down the weapons of self-crucifixion and the persecution on yourself through the way you talk to yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you judge yourself, and how hard you are on yourself. And to step in to a radical responsibility for how we are treating ourselves. And I love the word self-respect. And I did not have self-respect for a while. And ever since stepping into a cosmology of a divine feminine Christ blueprint, when I say Christ, you can interchange that with Buddhic, with source consciousness, Christ consciousness. We're talking about beyond names here. We're talking about a alpha and omega presence, a consciousness, the consciousness that gives life to all things. It can't be boxed into a name. And we gather beyond religious dogma and context. All names of God are welcome. So you want to have some water this evening and every time you join us. And you also want to have a journal. Sometimes we spend a lot of time in silence for journaling, and other times we allow just our hearts to come in so our minds can do what they're designed to do, which is follow the heart. But many have been hijacked, and their mind in this constant dialogue of worry, anxiety, fear really prevents us from listening to the Holy of Holies within. And that is why we gather, is to remember our inner connection, our direct connection to Source that we can never be separated from. We can never be separated from our divinity. And you're seeing so much separation amongst humanity because it is acting out through its separation of itself from divinity, the illusion, as we can never be separated from our soul that is eternal and always basking with the Divine Mother and Father. I also am going to share, before we go there, that I want to thank everyone, especially those who show up every single week to our communion. I personally have been tracking my creativity and my energy and really that divine feminine and divine masculine of balancing the rest and action. And there's so many projects that I'm creating right now and so many things that I'm doing. And I had to get very humble and honest with myself. And the thing that I love about stepping into a divine feminine Christ and divine masculine Christ Buddhic Source balance is when you surrender your free will to the will of your higher self, which we will call upon tonight, you can't BS it. And you can't lead or teach or be an activist for something that you are not willing to embody and live out yourself. You can try, but get ready to crash and burn. And that is what happened for me in terms of just really being exhausted. And we were definitely moving a bug through our house. And I know that was happening for me a few times. It kept continuously happening when I would deny myself the resting phase and I would just stay in that masculine of producing. And so I received divine guidance while in inner communion that I am to do inner communions when I am feeling very inspired and guided, and that really is around the moon for me. I've tracked myself with the moon, and it is very apparent to me that during the new moon time, when the moon is towards its end of its cycle, going back to being new, and in its first few days of being new, my body is so connected to the elements, El Kalim Om, earth, air, space, water, and fire. And I'm becoming so connected with the elements and my inner communion and calling upon the conscious beings of the elements to assist me in commanding miracles that I cannot force myself to be in any type of productivity at this time during a new moon cycle. Now, with it not being continuous, I have, it might be up right now. If not, it will be up shortly. icommandmiracles.com. Go in and enter in your phone number, and I will send you a text message the day before, an hour before, and live intercommunion, I know the power of when we gather live. And yes, of course, this is a quantum multidimensional experience that is recorded into the consciousness and the Akashic records. However, when we gather live, there is a great momentum that I know I can feel, and I know so many of you love the live gatherings as well, just to know that you're literally in this present moment, going into this quantum space, creating and seeding such goodness in this world. And so, again, I just want to thank everyone who has been such a loyal person and shows up to doing this work. I mean, for humanity, for yourself to live in your highest potential, we can all use this time of intentional, within. We can all use it, probably way more. But my goodness, just for those of you who have been gifting this for yourself once a week, and it's been such an honor and a privilege, but I just have to honor this request of doing it when inspiration, and it's like I'm so in this oracular activism mode of channeling. It's like my higher self there's certain times when my higher self is like shaking me and it wants to go, it's ready. And then there's other times it's like I pull so much current through. I've developed such a practice, and I'm being a disciple to my higher self, that after many phases or some burst of action and allowing the light of divinity to pour through me to create what it is that I'm creating, I have to rest. And it's a disservice to myself, and a disservice to anyone who's not receiving me at my best. And so my prayer is to, I went through all the process of setting up the text message, the paying for the services, the getting the person to build it, like all these things, so that I can be sure to still communicate when the inner communion is happening. And I can tell you, I will be going based on the energy of the elements and what's happening astrologically. So my guess is for you guys too, that it is going to be even better as well. And as always, I have the room for discernment to change it up in the future, possibly. So yes, please go to icommandmiracles.com when this is over. If it's not up yet, then in the next day or two, and I'll also send out an email from Sovereign Temples. But to 100% put in your phone number, not just your email. You want to put your phone number in, because that's how the notification is going to populate. So yeah, that's where we are with that. So I just want to thank you all for working with me as I am really honoring what guidance I'm receiving. Even though traditionally it would tell you, no, don't do that, keep something on a consistent schedule, it's just not what my higher self wants to do. So I'm listening. Now, I'm going to read something from the Hathor material, and our inner communion is going to be around this. And it talks about 4 points and aspects for stability to have in our lives for our existence here, and that there's just these cornerstones, and the cornerstones are the relationship to your physical body as well as your subtle bodies, including your Ka, which Ka is light body, your relationship with yourself and others, your relationship to the service you give to the universe, to the world, and to your community, which often takes form of a career, though not always or exclusively. And then the one we are going to focus on this evening is your conscious relationship with the sacred elements that make up the world in which you live. These sacred elements are earth, fire, water, and air/space, which El, Ka, Lim, Om, El, Ka, Lim, Om. That is a mantra you can use to call in these incredible elements. And I'm not going to read specifics on the first 3 cornerstones, but I am on the 4th one of these elements. And it says, the 4th and final base point of the pyramid is your conscious relationship to the elements. The 4 sacred elements that make up the earth are earth, fire, water, and air, space. We are speaking here of the elements in terms of their subtle state as a metaphor, not of the elements that you understand them in chemistry. These sacred elements are actually great conscious beings, which may be a new understanding for some people. The element of air that moves around you and through your body is conscious. The air that you breathe, the space that you move through, is a conscious being. The earth element that supports you and composes your body is conscious. The water element of earth, the waters that move through the sky in the form of clouds, and the waters of your body are conscious. The fire element is conscious as well. What has happened at this plane of existence is truly a miracle. For these 4 beings, these vast beings of earth, fire, water, and air space, have joined together to allow you to have a physical bodily form. It is a gift that is given freely so that you might have the benefit of experience in a denser world than from where you come. Without these conscious beings, their work and mutual cooperation under a creative desire for your existence here, there would be no evolution possible on this 3-dimensional plane. In fact, there wouldn't be a physical plane at all. Forming a relationship of gratitude towards these beings begins to create a more cosmic and universal understanding within you. And when you possess this understanding, you do not abuse the world you live in, for you recognize the sacredness of these beings that allows your world to exist. It is out of their compassion, their love, and their service that you are able to evolve, for they, like all beings, have a 4-based pyramid and cornerstones for balance within themselves. Their work and their service is to provide a continuity of existence in this realm so that the elements are balanced and the physical world continues. That is their work, their service, their devotion, and their dedication. They evolve through this service to you and to all the other kingdoms in this realm, in this dimension. Humans are generally disconnected from the ancient understandings of the sacredness of these elements and the sacredness of the earth. Many people are searching for a sense of peace, but they are agitated because they cannot find a place to be in the world. Modern humans have become technology-oriented and continue to create new technologies, ever hoping that these new adventures will give them peace and a sense of having a place in the world, yet it does not happen. The irony and the tragedy of this is that the place of rest is here, right now. It surrounds you. It comprises the elements of your body. If you will but see and feel the sacredness of the earth and of your body, you will find peace and that sense of having a place in the world. There are many methods that allow you to bypass the 4 cornerstones of the pyramid and move rapidly to higher states of consciousness and awareness. However, you cannot sustain them until a secure foundation is formed. If you do not build a foundation, you will fall back into lower frequencies and states of awareness. Without the necessary foundation, higher states of consciousness cannot be maintained. Our wish is to assist you to move upward in a way that is balanced and permanent, and we recommend that it is best to diligently attend to the 4 foundation points of your life. Nurture and strengthen your physical body. Be aware of your own truth and cultivate truthfulness with others. Deepen and enrich your relationship to your work as well as opportunities for service. Strengthen your conscious relationship to the sacred elements that comprise your physical body and the entire earth plane. As you strengthen and track these 4 areas, acknowledging them every day, being consciously aware of them, and doing your best to make each of them strong, you will secure the necessary energy that will facilitate a secure foundation upon which you can safely move upward into the higher realms of consciousness. And I am speaking from experience. You can command miracles in your life. You can do as Jesus did, as other ascended masters did. You have the same immaculate qualities as divinity. What does that leave out? You literally have a voice, and your voice is an alchemical machine where the word becomes flesh. When we come into 3D and lower densities, being souls moving at the speed of light in a multidimensional reality, it's a lot. But oh, the sweet remembering and those moments of connection. And to an outsider, sometimes miracle working seems like it's a miracle. It has to be divinity. Well, everything's divinity. But you're simply harnessing your God-given ability to use the elements to co-create anything. And that is why we do inner communion. We're going to do a short one this evening, since I spent so much time sharing the new schedule and the other things, kicking off and reading this evening. But I want you to grab your water. And holding your water, I want you to connect to the water within your body. How would you treat a sacred site? I've traveled the world into temples and churches and sacred sites. If I was caring for one of those sites, how would I treat it? There is nothing more sacred than your flesh and blood. And reconnecting to your temple and having self-respect for what you feed your mind, your soul, your body, is worth investigating and is worth spending time in reverence and celebration and awe and joy and fun and creating for the sheer joy of seeing what this masterpiece can do in this world of form with the elements. It's why I'm so drawn to the indigenous cultures. I know many of you on this call are as well. Connect with the water in your body. Connect with your blood. Take a few deep breaths, breathing in the air, the spirit, inspire. That is life moving through you. That is a spirit, a conscious being, a Holy Spirit moving through you. Feel your heart receiving that air from your lungs, and your heart taking that space, those particles, into the water of your body, into your blood. It has the elements of earth, iron, calcium, potassium, your cell membranes, all these electrons form up all these cells in your body, blood cells. You are a miracle. Holy, holy, holy. Breathe into the miracle that you are. See what your heart is doing, what your lungs are doing right now for you. Thank you. Thank you, Earth. Thank you, air and space, spirit. Thank you, water. Thank you, fire. The warmth of your body, that heat, the fire, electricity within you, literally a current beating your heart. An electric fire current is beating your heart right now. Seek first the kingdom of heaven within. Can you remember just how sacred, precious, miraculous your temple is? I've missed you. I've missed being present to you. I'm so sorry for treating you so poorly. At many times I am sorry. I simply lost my way. In my free will choice, I am realigning to the truth of being divinity in human form, and just how sacred and precious my body is. And I am picking up the mantle of my sovereign divinity and blessing water. I can bless my water to indeed be holy water and to carry the resonance of that which my voice speaks, where the word becomes flesh. I forgive myself for denying myself my own divinity and the power of my word. Taking time to connect to the water that you are about to receive, this holy communion with this conscious being of water that flows through you and that gives life and that will receive the frequency and intention of the spoken word and the feeling, the vibration behind the word. Taking 3 deep breaths, calling upon your higher self to speak through you and into your water that will indeed travel to all of the places and spaces within you that need healing. Higher self, I surrender my free will and my tongue to you. Speak through me the blessings in which my sacred, holy, sovereign temple is ready to receive divine intervention and miraculous healing. Higher self, bless my water. Take time. Allow your higher self to come through and bless your water. Allowing yourself the gift of communion within the earth, which is your body, sustained by the fire of your soul and the electricity beating your heart. The current of water in your blood. The spirit moving through your lungs. Drink of this holy water and feel it traveling, purifying, baptizing, and blessing every cell in your body with the resonance in which it absorbed when you spoke these words. commune within your body with water, with the Spirit right now. Can you stop denying yourself your own salvation in each present moment, and remember that the Savior and the Savioress sits within you, has the ability to command miracles, to use the elements, and to create a new earth and a new paradigm. You simply must channel your focus, your intention, versus the insanity of floating aimlessly in the illusions of fear that the collective has created within a viral program. You are sovereign, and you can indeed live a life of heaven on earth, completely independent of the hell others create for themselves. If you have been creating hell for yourself, living in fear and anxiety and worry and lack, it is simply because you are in the current of others and society, viral programming, and our own that we also can contribute to. And if you are ready to stop suffering, suffering is a choice, make no mistake, you are choosing it. If you are suffering, there is somebody on this call. If you are suffering, you are choosing it. And that can be hard to hear. But your higher self is ready and willing. Ascended Masters are ready and willing to realign you to the truth of your sovereign divinity, which means you are never a victim or at the mercy of anything or anyone outside of your personal choices. I'm going to invite you all to take some time to journal. I'm going to leave the music on. And I invite you to speak out loud, higher self. Take over my pen and be my sword of truth. Share with me how I can be in more balance and embody the truth of who I am. Share with me. I'm listening. I'm willing to lay down the weapons against myself. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of crucifying and judging myself and getting caught up in external viral programming that creates fear and worry. I'm so tired of that. What I am ready for is to bask in the remembrance and with my holy family of light and the sacredness of all that is, that truly seeks to prosper me in all ways, when I allow myself to receive the support of the conscious beings El Ka Mim Om, the support of my higher self, the support of God, the support of ascended masters. I'm willing to embody radical responsibility for my time in communion and my time in general, and what I feed myself, mind, body, and soul. Pen be my sword of truth. Enjoy writing, and I will leave the music on. And again, to be notified of our services, please put your phone number in at icommandmiracles.com to be notified by text of these inner communions. All my love and light. Namaste. Let that pen be your sword of truth.